Kai is in Year 11. He loves playing the piano and has big dreams for when he finishes school. He needs to focus and his ADHD medication helps him with that. But there's a severe shortage of the drug until the end of the year. Kai is starting to panic.
We just can't function, they can't function without the medication.
A shortage of crucial meds.
I only have like 5 tablets left.
A lack of doctors to prescribe them.
There are not enough specialists to go round.
And substitutes that just don't hit the mark.
It's not like you could just go and get another brand of Panadol when Panadol is out of stock.
It's the ADHD perfect storm.
This is not just affecting me, it's affecting families across the country and across the world.
We're all really worried of how this is going to play out for our kids.
You get heartbroken.
It's almost at crisis point.
I would say so, yeah.
17-year-old Kai knows his life can be dramatically off-key when he's not using ADHD medication Concerta.
It was a lot more efficient and I was focusing a lot more and I was able to retain a lot more information after I started my Concerta.
But there's a global shortage and Kai's down to his last few pills. A fresh batch won't reach Australia until December.
It makes me really nervous not knowing that I won't have stock of my medication for at least till next year.
Switching to a different ADHD medication is a bumpy ride.
When I'm not on my Concerta, it just feels I'm all over the place.
Hey, mate.
Hey, Mum.
Parents Sam and Brian are stressed.
He's facing Year 11 at the moment, going into Year 12, has aspirations and dreams and wants to succeed at these, and then to have that frustration for him, it's really heartbreaking.
So this is the Concerta.
Parents around the country can no longer bottle up their angst.
And we've just been stashing away our leftovers to hopefully get us through.
That's the emergency stash?
Yeah.
Right.
Ruth is stockpiling the family's remaining Concerta medication. They've stopped taking it at weekends so they can maximise their output during work and school hours.
I honestly wouldn't be able to really parent my children especially one of them, if they didn't have this medication. It's just that they need to have it.
Around 1 in every 20 Australians has ADHD. Concerta has become a go-to pill for many patients. It's a slow-release stimulant that increases attention and decreases impulsiveness and hyperactivity. Manufacturer Johnson & Johnson first said the shortage will last until May. Now it says December.
They just have an idea that they'll survive without it, but for some they won't.
Ruth's Facebook group is swelling with messages from desperate parents.
My son, 11, ran out last week and cannot get in to see his paediatrician till April. He's been in trouble at school. My 10-year-old daughter was thriving and happy on Concerta. After her second day back on Riddle in LA, she was kicking and after trying 100 pharmacies here and interstate, I've had to change medication.
ADHD patients are being forced to switch to different medication, which is not like for like.
It's affecting mental health, sleep, behaviour. Yeah, so yeah, we would really like Concerta.
You're tired?
Yeah, okay, yes, I have had 3 hours sleep last night. I am exhausted. I am exhausted, yeah.
An upsurge in diagnosis has smashed global Concerta supply.
People are calling pharmacies all over the state to try and find the medication. It's just crazy.
Ruth was diagnosed as an adult by chance. It wasn't till she was doing the ADHD questionnaire with her kids during their diagnosis that she realised she also displayed symptoms.
There's a lot of families in this position, unfortunately.
Dr. Alison Poulton wrote a book on ADHD. She suspects Concerta's complex capsule is the reason behind the shortage.
There's a portion inside the capsule that expands and it pushes the drug out through a microscopic laser drilled hole in the end of the capsule, and it releases it over about 10 hours, gradually diminishing as the day progresses.
Dr. Poulton's been prescribing Ritalin for her patients as a backup. It has to be taken more frequently, and patients experience sharp highs and lows.
What we can't do is tell manufacturers to make or provide more products to Australia.
The Therapeutic Goods Administration has approved other sources of Concerta from Switzerland, but they're not on the pharmaceutical benefit scheme.
It's upwards of $150 a bottle, and the minimum order is 5 bottles. No one can afford that.
Switching meds is an emotional and financial roller coaster.
Might have to trial it for a month and then go back and see the paediatrician again to, change to something else, try something else, get another prescription.
There's another $300
So,
bucks.
yeah, it's a lot of financial strain on families. Yeah.
What I'd like to do is, so if you
Only a specialist doctor can prescribe ADHD medication, but they're also in short supply.
the model of care that says that children should be taken care of by paediatricians and adults by psychiatrists doesn't work because there are not enough specialists to go round.
Dr. Poulton's currently training GPs in the diagnosis and treatment of ADHD. The proposed model can be rolled out around the country at a cost of $13,000 per doctor.
And then, having trained them, they can then diagnose and treat ADHD for the rest of their working life. So in terms of cost effectiveness, I would challenge you to find anything better.
For many ADHD patients, that light at the end of the tunnel is barely a flicker.
This is not just affecting me, it's affecting families across the country and across the world. And it needs to be more accessible to people and not just, okay, you can switch medications, because that's not going to work in the long run.
Well, Johnson & Johnson says it's closely monitoring supply to minimise any potential impact. I mean, how's that for saying nothing? These families are desperate and that's all they get. Well, this is the problem when one giant pharmaceutical company holds all the cards.